And good morning at 7:04 on this Friday, July 22nd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. A Friday morning, and we're glad to have you. We're glad to see the sun shining, of course. Another hot day forecast. And we're here to talk about Wilson Bank and Trust this morning. Heidi King is here and going to talk about investments. Good morning.
Good morning.
Heidi Huberry King.
That's right.
You were once fairest to the fair, and I will never let you forget that when you come out here.
That's been many, many years ago, but it's almost fair time again, so I guess it's a good thing to remember.
There you go. Well, how long have you actually been with the bank?
I have been with the bank almost 20 years.
Really?
I started in 2003.
Did you start out in the investment department?
I did not. I actually started as a float teller, going around and hanging out and getting to meet everybody in all of our local branches here, and started off full-time in our Mount Juliet office after that little stint around town and hanging out with Jim Watley over there in the investment department, and that's how I got my start.
Yeah. Well, how long have you actually been doing investments then? Most of that time, right?
Yes, I got licensed in 2005.
All right. So some 3 years maybe, and then you do what you're doing now. And I no doubt you love it because you're still doing it.
That's exactly right. I wouldn't be doing anything else.
What message do you have for us this morning?
Well, as we all know, there's a little bit of volatility going on in the market the past 6 months or so. We've got inflation rates at almost all-time highs. I know we can look back to 1979, and there was about close to 10% inflation. And so we try to bring a little bit of parallels to, what's happened in the past to what's happening today, and just really having to talk a couple people off the ledge. But really and truly, as long as you've got a great financial plan and you stick to your plan, we can look back to history and see that the plan still works. Stay invested. It does come back, but the patience in the middle can be quite difficult at times.
Well, if my memory's right, the Dow has gone up at least for the last 2 days, I think, 2 or 3. Have we reached the bottom? Well, I am wondering what you might think.
Sure. That crystal ball that came with my Series 7 book, it stopped working like a few days after I got it. But we're hoping that middle of June lows are in. It does not mean that we cannot retest those, and it doesn't mean it can't go lower with that little R word, recession, looming out there now. But I do hope that those lows are in. We have seen account values come back up since those June 30th statements drop, and you start getting them in your mailbox. And if you are questioning what's going on in your account, if you're questioning, are you in the right stuff in your portfolio, give us a call. We'd be happy to review that with you, even if you're not a client.
A review is a good thing and needs to be done periodically. I don't know what you recommend, but I know everybody says from time to time you need to do a review.
Absolutely. So we at least sit down with all of our clients once a year. You're going to get a call, I know, from my assistant, Ms. Carol. David does the same thing. Jim does the same thing. Damon does the same thing. You're going to hear from us because we want to sit down. We want to have that review because things change in your life, in your risk. You might be retiring and need to back off that a little bit. You might need to start taking some income out of your account. And so definitely sitting down with a financial advisor at least once a year is what we recommend.
But if I can read you a little bit this morning, it's certainly not all doom and gloom.
It's not all doom and gloom. I know that I looked, every good financial advisor has a chart when they sit down with their clients, right? So if you did look back to that 1979 that I referenced earlier, when we had 10% inflation, if you had just $10,000 in the S&P 500 then and waded through all of the crazy that we've had over all these years, you have over $1.5 million today.
Really?
It's impressive.
It is. But you really need to go for the long haul. I mean, it's not well, I think with you, it's not a lot of day trading or that sort of stuff. You're investing for the long run.
That's exactly right. And a lot of people will be concerned that they say, well, I don't have a long time to invest because I am retired or I'm about to retire. So it's not necessarily about having to be an all stock portfolio for the long haul. It's about sticking with the plan that's right for you for the long haul.
And you are more than happy. I'm sure you welcome new customers. You've established a clientele so far, but you got room for a few more.
Absolutely. We're always willing to sit down and talk to a few extras.
And it doesn't cost anything for a consultation, does it?
No, absolutely not. We definitely want to sit down and we'll kind of dig into the weeds a little bit. You know, bring in your old statements, let us know kind of what your financial picture looks like, and have a discussion. It doesn't hurt anything.
Well, you have been able to help a number of people, no doubt, and that is your business, help them to grow wealth, and evidently y'all have done a good job because you keep adding more people to the staff, and of course you're adding more locations for banking. So
that's exactly right. As the bank continues to grow and add locations, we definitely need to add more financial advisors.
All right, and where would people find you? Which office?
So I'm actually at our Lebanon office here at the main building in front of that new big operations center, right off West Main Street.
All right, and I believe that's where Damon is.
That's where Damon is and David is.
David Walden.
David Walden.
Okay, all right. Well, the three of you, it takes three of y'all to handle a Lebanon office. Heidi, it's always good to have you. Thanks for being with us this morning.
I appreciate it, Coleman.
Heidi King, Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender. They're still here, still independent. They're still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. We did talk about investments. You better do a little disclaimer.
Oh, we better. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC, are not guaranteed by Wilson Bank and Trust, subject to risk, may lose value, not a deposit, not insured by FDIC or any government agency.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're now 11 minutes after the hour, and John Dewalt is my guest this morning. We've got an event coming up, an annual event. It's a shoe giveaway, and he's going to be telling us all about it this morning. John, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
It is nice to have you. This has kind of been an annual thing for us for a while, and yeah, you've kind of established this over the years, and I guess you've gone so far you don't want to give it up, don't want to quit it. You want to continue doing it.
No, I may not walk quite as fast or haul as large a box of shoes as I used to, but no, I still have the fire in my heart to continue and care for these children and families that need help in Wilson County.
We've talked about this a lot of times, and our regular listeners won't probably need a great big reminder to know what we're talking about, but we do have new people coming in all the time, and there may be people who have not heard of the annual Dewalt shoe giveaway, which we're going to be talking about this morning, the 2022 annual Dewalt shoe giveaway, and John Dewalt, of course, is with us. What prompted this and how long ago was it been? I think
29 years ago, Coleman.
1993.
1993.
Okay. So that's when you started doing this. How did that come about?
My wife was a school teacher, and we had 6 children, and we worked in the projects of Lebanon and worked with children there. And my wife noticed a lot of the kids did not have shoes. They just went around barefoot, which I guess is fine in the summertime when you're happy and you're a kid. But when it's time for school, she knew, you got to have shoes to go to school. And she knew from having 6 children and being an educator, a teacher, how children can make fun of each other. Mm-hmm. And she knew that kids that went into school with no shoes or with really raggedy, poor shoes, how that would hurt. And so she decided, I can't do a lot, but I can give out a few pairs of shoes to kids that I see that need them. And so she started doing that. And then a friend from church, Bertie Ollygood, joined her, and they started giving out, a few pairs of shoes. And it just moved from there into Potter's House partnering with her, mm-hmm. and our church getting involved, First Baptist Church in Lebanon. And it just kind of took off with energy simply inspired by the fact that this is just simply what the Lord wanted to do. He wanted those kids to have shoes and undergarments and socks before school.
Has much changed? You probably have maybe serving more now than you did in the beginning, but the idea is pretty much the same and has not changed a lot, has it?
No, it hasn't. A very basic need of having shoes and socks and undergarments before you go back to school so you can feel good about yourself, feel that people do care about you, and just to give you the same footing as all other kids have when they go back and start a new school year.
All right, it's almost time for us to take a break. So let's go ahead and tell the people that it's about a week away and just summarize what you're going to be doing next Friday.
Okay, next Friday, if you want to volunteer, come at 2 o'clock. If you need some shoes and undergarments, come at 4 o'clock to the Salvation Army Church. Used to be the Mary Chaffin Chapel at 715 Lake Street. And that's this coming Friday, a week from today. You just show up, as long as you're from Wilson County, and you've got your kids with you. The children need to be there so we can make sure that they get the right size that they need for their feet.
Now that is very important. And especially you don't want tight-fitting shoes. It's going to hurt your feet all year. If they're a little big, it might work, but you don't want them too small. I know. I had that happen to me one time. But anyway, John, thanks for being with us. We got a lot more to talk about. John Dewalt, my guest, and this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford and the low price tire guarantee on all tires every day. Up to 30 days after the sale, there'll be any competitor's pricing on the tires they sell. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Looking a little bit better here on that 65 southbound ramp to Briley Parkway where that car flipped a little bit earlier. It's a minor wreck on that 24 eastbound off-ramp at Walden Road there in the Rutherford County area. Of course, the heaviest flow of traffic in that area right now is coming westbound, making its way out of Rutherford County in and through Davidson County. Lots of radar spotted earlier, I-40 through Dixon County. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, maybe some land or a farm in Middle Tennessee, Greg Sanford is your professional realtor. Log on to gregsanford.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Get ready for back to school. New buyers are coming into town to purchase homes and getting ready to register their kids for school.
Ready to see what your house is worth? Call us for a free market analysis today.
And remember, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentaler at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
I'm Glenn Denton and your primary candidate for 20th District Commissioner. I'm the only real conservative on the ballot and the only one listed for this seat. But I have two write-ins opposing me, so I need each one of your votes. No more huge property tax hikes or piling up a big debt. We have gone over 25 years without proper representation, and I have served 33 years in this district spiritually, truthfully, and boldly. It's time for a wise choice, a clear voice for clean government. Elect Glenn Denton, 20th District Commissioner.
Charles Lehman is asking for your vote for Wilson County Trustee August 4th. Charles grew up in Noreen and has been a lifelong resident of Wilson County. Charles Lehman brings a strong education tempered with decades of experience to provide the citizens of Wilson County with a rock-solid background for their next trustee. Working as an appraiser for the comptroller of the Treasury for 34 years and going into real estate after retirement, Charles brings a strong foundation to serve as your next trustee. Paid for by committee to elect Charles Lehman Treasurer.
You can put it in the burn pile.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. If you just turned our way, thank you so much. John Dewalt is with us. John has been around for quite some time here, and he's got this Dewalt shoe giveaway we talked about this morning. But you have been an engineer. I know at one time you were employed by Wilson County, and you had your own firm, I think, and still doing a little bit, but not as much, right?
Yes, it's nice moving toward retirement, not having to take high pressure work, but still continuing to do engineering work that I love to do to help people.
Yeah. Well, the Dewalt shoe giveaway began in 1993, as we talked earlier, and the 2022 annual Dewalt Shoe Giveaway is next Friday, July 29th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Salvation Army Church, formerly the Mary Chaffin Chapel, which is at 715 Lake Street in Lebanon. Now, we talked a little bit about volunteers a while ago, and we might mention this again. You need them to arrive at 2 o'clock, so you got 2 hours to get ready for everybody at 4. You could use some more, apparently.
There's always room for more volunteers. And honestly, when you're a volunteer, it is as big or bigger a blessing than being one of the people that receives the shoes. You get to see the faces of those children. You get to work with a diverse group of people from all over Wilson County and share just the love of Jesus in a very practical way with people that have a very basic need that most of us don't identify with.
Now, you have some partners in this information sheet you've given me here. It says hosted by the Wilson County Salvation Army. You might explain that. I think you've maybe have joined with some different organizations over the years as people saw the need and wanted to help here. But there was sort of a marriage of sort with the Salvation Army a while back, I think.
Yes. The Potter's House Ministry, who originally began the shoe giveaway, transitioned where they could not continue their work in the projects. So they found the Salvation Army, who was willing to take over their ministry of caring for people in Upton Heights, and particularly the children, with tutoring. And the shoe giveaway was a big part of their ministry. And so when the Salvation Army took over that ministry, they agreed that they would partner with us, and they have been a tremendous partner, not just with the facility, but with volunteers, with organization. And as my wife and I have gotten older and had some health issues, they've taken more and more of the load off of us, so we're not carrying the whole load anymore like we used to. And I must say that feels good to have some younger partners that help take the load.
No doubt. Well, last year you gave away about 250 pairs of shoes. And again, that as well as shoes, you have the new socks and underwear. And now, are most of these younger children, I think you go up maybe, do you go through high school?
We do. Any school-age child from pre-K to high school, we will provide these for.
But I'm just guessing more of them are of a younger age, aren't they?
Yes. There still are some older middle schoolers, surprising number of middle schoolers, and some high schoolers, but majority of them are elementary school age.
How long does it take to go through the line? And for somebody maybe who hasn't done this before and wondering, and I'm wondering myself, I've never been over to see it. I keep thinking I'll make it someday, but I never have.
Well, one of these years, I'm going to have to come and pick you up, Coleman. I'll provide chauffeur service for you to come. It varies. If you get there, a little bit early, you may be through in 15 or 20 minutes. If you get there kind of at the peak time, then it may take 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And it varies, from year to year. We are doing a drive-through this year so people can stay in their car. And it's a little more comfortable than having to get out and stand in line and wait to go through the chapel. And it's also safer. We started that because of COVID, not wanting a lot of people crowded into that small building. And we like the way it works. So we're continuing this year with the drive-through. And if you don't have a car, well, you still can walk there, and we'll take care of you and get you shoes even if you're not in a car.
Is it helpful? How many know the shoe size? And children's feet grow from one year to another. Even a shoe that fits this fall may not fit next spring. I don't know. It might be getting tight anyway.
That's the truth. It helps if when you come, you know your children's shoe sizes. But if you don't, that's okay. You come on anyway, and we will get them fit. Even if we have to go back several times to find the right size, we will not let you leave until we found the right size.
Where do you get most of your shoes, and the other that you have to? But the I'm really interested in how you and no doubt you're looking for bargains. You're looking for help here because you're talking about 250 pairs of shoes maybe that's going to be given away.
Yes. We used to try exotic places to find the best buy of getting shoes shipped out of Florida or California or wherever we went and could find a good deal online. But we learned over the years that sometimes those good deals didn't exactly pan out. You couldn't see the quality of the shoe. You don't really know exactly the sizes you're getting. Mm-hmm. And so we've learned it's much easier just to shop locally. So we do the local Walmarts in Wilson County and Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and generally hit it during the sale time when they're clearing out some shoes and getting ready to bring in the new shoes for the fall. And we just make multiple visits till we can stock up the number that we need.
Do you have a few that's usually left over that carries over to the
Absolutely.
next year?
We have a large stock. We have probably, I don't know, 600 or 700 pairs of shoes that we keep in stock, and we may give away 300 or 400, but we keep the others, and we have them in bins all organized and labeled, and then we just fill up the bins with what we used each year to be ready for the next year.
I don't know whether you want me to ask this or not, but I'm also wondering, every once in a while, somebody, for whatever reason, misses out on something. If there's somebody that really needs help here but not available to come next Friday between 2 and 4, is there a way for them to benefit?
If they will talk to their school teacher and let their teacher at school know, in the 10th school district that is, we will try to help them out if we can. We can't promise, and it won't be on an individual basis, whenever the need is told to us, but we try to have a time where we can meet the need through the teachers in the school. If they'll know and talk to the 10th school district, then we will work with the district to get them some shoes.
But it's really better and going to work better for everybody if they will show up next week between 2 and 4. I mean between 4 and 6.
Yes. Now, if a parent's not available, any adult can come with the kids, mm-hmm. whether it's a older brother or sister that's able to drive, a grandparent, a nephew, a niece, a cousin, a neighbor. As long as there's an adult with the kids, mm-hmm. They can come and get shoes and undergarments.
Well, you've got this. You've done it for all these years. You've got it pretty well organized, and you have at least a core of good help here. Can use some more volunteers always, but it's and here again the fact that you mentioned you're not getting any younger. Some of these younger people who've come in to volunteer and to help and take some of the load off of you, that's nice too.
It is very nice. This year, we're especially thankful that Compassionate Hands is going to be there to help us, John Grant. So if families come through that need more than just shoes and undergarments, John Grant is a great resource who knows where other help is available in the community, whether it's for furniture or whether it's for needing a place to stay or whether it's food or whether it's some counseling or whatever it is. He's a tremendous resource, and we're really glad that he's going to be alongside us this year to help us.
All right. Is there anything we have left out here? Anything else you want to stress this morning? I think we pretty well told the story, but here again, there's always it's always something we leave off probably.
I guess the story is that people from all cultures and races work together, whether you're Hispanic or black or white or of some mixed whatever. We had some Muslims helping us one year. We've had people from all different cultures come through to receive shoes and also to work. And so the shoe giveaway is like a little picture of heaven, because people from every type of background, rich or poor, whatever neighborhood they're from, it doesn't matter. But we're working together to honor the one that created all of us and loves all of us.
Do you get, I know you're not in it for the thank yous or the appreciations or whatever, but I would think that you do have maybe a number of people who are really grateful to you for doing this and offering this service.
The main way we receive thanks is looking into the eyes of those children when they see that new pair of shoes and socks, and it touches my heart whenever I see that in their face, because it means a lot to them, more than I can imagine, but I can see that in their eyes, that sparkle and that joy.
And here again, showing love. They are shown love, and hopefully they do appreciate the effort that you've put forth to do it.
Yes, and if they don't, that's okay too, because somewhere in the good book it talks about, you don't just love people that love you, you love the people that don't love you. And we have some people that aren't real happy and whine because they couldn't get the Air Jordan Nike in the red, white, and blue color with sparkles on the side, and they are angry about it. And so they come to me because I wear the blue hat. When there's a problem, you come to the blue hat at the shoe giveaway, and I wear the blue hat. So I take care of them, and that's okay.
You've got your name written on the cap there. John Dewalt, thanks for being with us this morning. I'm glad to help you tell the story here. And just to summarize, it's next Friday, July 29th, the Mary Chaffin Chapel, it was known as that, now the Salvation Army Church, 715 Lake Street in Lebanon, 4 to 6. Any child that needs shoes or needs underwear or socks, come and have accompanied by an adult or an older brother or sister, and you'll be taken care of. And that's between 4 and 6, and if you want to volunteer, show up at 2 o'clock. And maybe call ahead of time to let them know you want to volunteer. That'd be okay.
If you just show up, it's great.
John, thanks again. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Coleman.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more. Please keep it here, FM 98.9.
And at 7:31, let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, they have a large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday. Free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. A couple of new wrecks out here in the last few minutes. 7th at James Robertson Parkway, Harding Place at Lindbar, that's South Nashville near those apartments. Traffic's increasing even more in the last few minutes. I-40 coming in through Dixon County, passing 840. Hey, there's a high demand for dental assistants, and Dental Staff School has an amazing 98% placement rate. Google Dental Staff School. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
You have a vision. We have the financing to make it happen. At Wilson Bank and Trust, we have the resources that individuals, families, and businesses need to grow and achieve their goals. As an independent local community bank, we're able to provide loans with great rates, fast decision-making, and personal service from one of our local, friendly lenders. We believe in the power of possibility. It's why we say yes more often. Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
There's no relief from this heat in our immediate forecast. High of 96 today, climbing to 97 degrees for the weekend. Heat index should be around 100. The next chance for rain arrives Monday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number 1 Ned.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It is a Friday, and Fridays we always look forward to this time because we get a visit from the C&D team of Exit Rocky Top Realty. And we got Miss Judy, we got Medina here this morning, and I want to say good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And it's good to see your smiling face and hear your stories before we go on the air.
We've always got a story, don't we?
There's always a story.
Well, they are great people. They offer great service, and even to as far as having the phone answered 24 hours a day. And they're people you can trust, and that means a lot. You want to get us started?
Well, yeah, we're just going to talk a little bit about the fair, and then I'm going to let Medina talk about a new listing. But, you know, the fair's coming on us, and we're getting everything ready, getting the moon pies all lined up. And Just we want people to know to come by the air conditioned cabin and go
Moon pies.
Moon pies and go get your fair food. And they've got different flavors, but if you get too many flavors, we'll never get out of there because people can't make a decision. So it's better to have banana and chocolate. One year we tried the salty caramel and the strawberry. And nobody can make a decision. So we decided, nah, don't do this. 2 choices, banana or chocolate. So anyway, it works out better like that because people were in a hurry and it's like they're standing there and you can't have a line start to form.
Or they wanted one of each, then we run out.
Well, you can have this one this time and get the other one tomorrow.
That's right. But anyway, we want to register we'll have our boys and girls bicycle to give away like we always do. And then it's funny because we've had boys and girls come up to us that are now in college or married, and they said, we won the bicycle years ago. And it's so cute to see him. We made a picture of a guy last year. He was married and had a little kid, and he said, hey, I'm going to register my kid for the bike. I won it way back in whatever year it was. And I thought that was pretty neat. Yeah. But, and then we're going to, our main prize this year, we're going to have a getaway weekend in Granville. And you're going to be able to win a whole weekend, 2 nights at the bed and breakfast up there. You're going to have the bed and breakfast all to yourself. It's got bedrooms and a living room and a kitchen. You're going to have it all to yourself. And you're going to have 2 nights, a Friday night and a Saturday night. There's going to be certificates to the gift shop to go and shop. And there's dress shops up there. And it's just going to be great. And some tickets to go see some of the museums. It's just going to be a great weekend, and you're going to have tickets to the Saturday night Opry that they have and the dinner. So, I mean, it's worth over $600, and we're going to have a Granville getaway weekend this year. They're specializing on all the 95 counties. So we decided, well, Granville, we're going to tell people what Granville has to offer up there. And use that as
Randall
one of
Clemens says thanks.
Yes, and he's cooperating that with us, and we're just excited to death to know that we're going to be able to tell some of the things you can do in Granville.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people come to the fair, they have no idea what all you could do. You can spend a whole weekend up there and enjoy every minute of it and not run out of things to do.
Well, that's something nice to give away, no doubt.
Well, we think it'll be great, so we want you to come by and register for that, and just come by and see us. We'll give you a moon pie and let you cool off.
All right.
So I'm letting Medina talk.
All right, Medina.
Well, I have a new listing on Sparta Pike. It's 2924 Sparta Pike. It is a white farmhouse that is situated on a little bit over 5 acres. It has an additional 2.5 acres available if you're interested in that. And it is listed at $674,900. And it is a farmhouse that has 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, a little bit over 2,000 square feet. It has new heat and air in it. And it has all the original hardwood floors. It was on a Century Farm at one time, and it was all divided up, but now this is a Century Farm house. And it's beautiful on the inside. It has all the original hardwoods. It's been updated. It's been well taken care of. It has a barn in the back. It has an additional building, a shed in the back as well. But all this you get for $674,900 is the list price.
And this is actually on Sparta Pike?
It's on Sparta Pike. The address is 2924 Sparta Pike. It's right close to the Shop Springs Dairy.
Okay.
Where you get your good ice cream. It's right around that area. So give us a call. And we also have some other properties coming on the market that are great investment properties. So that if you're wanting to invest in properties right now to have as rentals, there are already renters in it. So if you would like to purchase those and then already have a renter in it and have it as an investment for years to come, then give us a call because we'll have those coming on the market. So give us a call on that. But 2924 Sparta Pike, it's a beautiful home, a Century farmhouse with original hardwood floors, well taken care of, remodeled, new HVAC in it, and it's situated on a little bit over 5 acres.
And you're saying it probably won't last long?
It won't last long.
And the additional lot of 2-point-something acres, it's already been perked for a 4-bedroom. So if you wanted to buy a property and build a family member a house
Beside
next door
you.
to you, it's on 2 separate plats.
Yeah.
so which will make it good.
Yes.
Well, that's a great location.
Oh, yeah. It's close to everything, and you're close to Watertown, close to the interstate, close to Lebanon. So, yeah, it's a great location. And like I said, it's right there on Sparta Pike, and it's 674-9, located at 2924 Sparta Pike.
All right. You got anything else you want to say this morning?
And also, today is Friday.
All right.
So remember what happens on Fridays this month at our parking lot is Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A tent, excuse me, will be out there and have the limited menu. And we are doing Chick-fil-A in our parking lot because Chick-fil-A is looking at opening a second store. And we all know we all want a second store here in Lebanon. So
we want it close to you.
We want it close to me, that's right. So if you're wanting another store in Lebanon, this is a good way to show Chick-fil-A that Lebanon is serious. We want a second store.
That's right. Come see Medina on Friday.
That's right. That's right. Just pull in our parking lot, get out and get your food, and then easy in, easy out. But they'll be there this Friday and next Friday.
Okay, you through?
Well, I
Except for
think I am.
One last thing.
One last thing. Remember, don't make a move without us.
We got to get that in. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good weekend.
You too.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Okay, we are about 20 and a half minutes before the 8 o'clock hour, and my guest this morning is Glenn Denton, and he is paying for this time, and he is running for a county commission seat. And preacher, I guess it's okay if I call you. You are still preaching, I think, and of course you once were the pastor at Hillcrest Baptist Church. Used to have a radio program here on Sunday morning.
Almost 30 years.
And even in addition to that, your wife Pat once came out here on Fridays like terrific Teresa does now, and I got to know her back in those days. But it's nice to see you this morning, and again, you are paying for this time, so the mic is pretty much yours, and I'll interject occasionally, but however you want to do this, but you are running for the county commission seat, and I guess if you don't mind me saying this, you already have won the Republican nomination. You're the only one that's going to be on the ballot. However, there is a write-in campaign. All right, okay. Well, take it from there. Tell us what you want the people to hear this morning.
Coleman, I appreciate you letting me be here, and I always do. And the reason I came in early is the Cox ladies, I almost call them twins because they look so much alike. They invited me to come back with them, so that's why I came back here early.
Well, that's all right. We need, there's no break here. You did fine. Good.
Right. Well, I've been here, of course, I've been preaching for 45 years, and I pastored until 4 years ago and had some health issues, and so I have my own ministry now, Glenn Denton Ministries, and so I travel here and there and have had great 4 years. But I've been, ever since the last election, when I ran for school board, I've been bombarded with people asking me to run for commissioner. And I said no, I just wasn't up to it. And then, of course, I had open heart surgery in December 29th. And so I still couldn't, I said, I can't commit to that. Well, the doctors kind of released me, even though they told me to be very careful. So I just felt like that I got peace from the Lord about it, and I decided I would do that. And as I have some real concerns. I've been living in this community for 33 years and this district. Sometimes we call it the poor side of town, and I kind of call it the district that's left behind sometimes. And so I guess that's why I wanted us to be represented and make sure that somebody would speak for, and my slogan is a clear voice for a clean government, and I really believe that. So in those 33 years, as I've lived here, I've served the people spiritually. I've been very honest about what I've done, and I've been, I think, bold in what I've done. And I have no regrets about that. I love living here. God's blessed. So I just want to continue to be able to help this district, this community, in a I guess now what you would call a political way. And so that's my that's kind of my goal, and my motivation for that is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear through, the people mourn. And so I feel like God needs good people on the commission. And so there's, I have some concerns on my heart about what's going on right now. And the main thing is, I guess, is the disproportionate budget that we have. Our county, and I'm working off a 2021 budget because that's what I have access to. And even though it probably changed a little this year, I noticed that our schools in 2021 got 81% of our budget. That leaves 19% for our county to operate on, which is very disproportionate to me. In fact, that's way above the national average for schools. In fact, almost 20% above, but it's not been that high until that year. It's been usually around 10 or 12% higher. So I have a goal to see that reduced to somewhere in the mid-60s or at some point. I think that's where we're going to have to be to keep our county up with the growth that we're going. And because that affects everything we do. And I'm concerned when I look at this and I see emergency management gets 3%. And then I hear them pleading almost for funds and low personnel. In fact, meeting before last month, the June meeting, the emergency management reported that they, almost in tears it sounded like, that they were the lowest they'd been in 33 years as far as personnel resources and that type of thing. And so I have a real concern. They're people we need, and I don't feel like they all have to come asking for money through the middle of the year. They ought to be able to plan like everyone else with a decent budget. So I think we need some emphasis there. Law enforcement, again, has also been down and had to come back and ask for funds. And so I think the law enforcement here, we need them so badly every day, and they need our support more than I think we are. Roads and bridges got 3%. We're talking about a lot of growth going on in Wilson County now, and I'm for that. I want to see us grow, but I want to see us grow right. And we don't have an infrastructure in our county to do a lot of developing like we're doing right now. Our roads is struggling to handle the traffic. We have we're just struggling to maintain what we have on this kind of a budget, and to build new infrastructure for new things coming in. We're going to have to be proactive here, and so I think we need a little bit more emphasis put on there. So when I say that disproportionate budget, I'm concerned that affects everything we do in this county. And so those are the things that trouble me, because when I watch what goes on, sometimes it seems like we just check off everything and nobody questions it, and we just let it roll through, and there doesn't seem to be too much questioning. I know a lot of work's done in committees, and I appreciate that, a lot of work. But we never hear some of the issues or things that might come out of that committee of concerns. Sometimes they're maybe not balanced in proportion to people in their policy philosophy. So I just like to see a better information system, better communication with our people about what's going on in the county.
Okay, let me say we need to pause here because it's time for a break. Glenn Denton, candidate for County Commission, District, what district is it?
20
District. District 20. And we'll talk more after we go to this break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:47. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Excuse me. It's all brought to you by Bates Ford. Regular oil change $34.95 up to 5 quarts of oil. Tax and disposal, 1673 West Main. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic volume on the increase quite a bit, actually, coming through Mount Juliet on I-40. All the traffic coming in from Wilson County, 7th and James Robertson Parkway. That wreck is still at that intersection. Trying to clean up an earlier wreck, South Nashville at Harding Place at Lynn Bar. Steady flow of traffic now makes its way down I-40 through Kingston Springs. Behind it, you got all that traffic coming in from Dixon County. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, maybe some land or a farm in Middle Tennessee, Greg Sanford is your professional realtor. Log on to gregsanford.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Charles Lehman is asking for your vote for Wilson County Trustee August 4th. Charles grew up in Noreen and has been a lifelong resident of Wilson County. Charles Lehman brings a strong education tempered with decades of experience to provide the citizens of Wilson County with a rock-solid background for their next trustee. Working as an appraiser for the comptroller of the Treasury for 34 years and going into real estate after retirement, Charles brings a strong foundation to serve as your next trustee. Paid for by committee to elect Charles Lehman Treasurer.
I'm Glenn Denton, asking for your vote for the 20th District Commissioner. We have just had a huge property tax hike, and I stand against massive tax increases and irresponsible allocations. In the 2021 budget, 81% of our revenue went to our schools and only 3% to emergency management and 6% to our sheriff's department. We cannot operate efficiently on 19% of the budget. I stand as a clear voice for clean government. Please vote Glenn Denton, 20th District Commissioner.
Contact Stephen Lowry Land Clearing for all your land clearing needs. Whether it's clearing trails for ATVs, reclaiming pasture, or clearing your land of brush and trees, Stephen Lowry can get the job done. He works closely with customers, adjusting to make changes as you want. Steve Lowry will give you quality work at a price that you can afford. He will also beat any written estimate. Call Stephen Lowry at 615-970-8154 for all your land clearing needs. That's Stephen Lowry Land Clearing, 615-970-8154.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Glenn Denton, candidate for County Commission District 19, is with us this morning. And again, paying for this time to be here and tell you what's on his mind regarding this election. Of course, early voting is going on now.
Yes.
And then the election will be August the 4th.
August the 4th.
And you are hoping to be a member of our county commission.
I sure hope so. I want to work on some things that I think not only myself, but I've been encouraged by many of the commissioners they need help, and they would like for somebody to come on and help them to see some things progress, and also to work on this massive amount of debt we have. It's somewhere in the neighborhood, I think, of $600 million our county's in debt, and much of that due to our school debt. And, things as by we need to be competitive in our salaries among our emergency services, our law enforcement, and all of our employees in our county in every area. And we're losing people sometimes to the competitive market. And so I agree with the new study that's been done. I agree that we need to get our pay, but we have a little spike real high that, in my opinion, when you lower that spike, then it flattens the line a little bit more, and so maybe we need to look at some cuts rather than raises. And yet they say they will fund it, and I'm a little concerned about when things come up like we found $6 million. We moved things around and found $6 million to fund that percentage of raise that's going to take place for us to meet those competitive salaries and needs. Well, finding $6 million to move around in a budget to where we only have 19% of that, which is $87 million, where the school gets $339 million or something like that. It's going to be, I don't know how if you figure that's 14% of that 19% operating budget. And I don't know how we can move around $6 million. Why couldn't we not have appropriated that in the beginning to some of these agencies that need it and some of these departments that need it, rather than now coming up and trying to move and find $6 million. That meant something was awful fat in the budget for us to be able to move around $6 million. Hard to lose that. That's 1.5% of the total budget of the whole county of $500 million or $450 to $500. So those things of concern to me. I want to see us grow, but I think to do that, we're going to have to manage our money better. And tax increases, as we was talking about, we had a massive tax increase. In my own personal life, I know mine was nearly doubled in evaluation and appraisal in an inflated market. So when the market goes down, we're still going to be paying inflated tax prices here, and we can't afford one of those kind of raises again. About 33% of our tax burden is on property owners now. So that's a little unfair. It's almost like punishing people for owning property and working hard to have what they have. So I just like to see a better balance inside our budget.
Are you saying kind of in a roundabout way here that we are spending too much money for education?
I do. Yes, sir. I do believe that. I believe we're spending too much. I think we spent way too much in building our schools. I think we were more concerned with aesthetics and athletics than we were academics. And we do not need Taj Mahals for schools. We just need nice facilities for our kids to learn in. We overbuilt some and probably underbuilt some. I do not know. But there was I think we spent way too much money. If we'd have had it and if we'd have planned for it, I think it'd been fine. But we didn't have it. So now we have it as debt. And you got to also remember, since we have it as debt, we're paying interest every year out of that budget for that huge debt. So again, that's taking operating money. So we've got to find a way, I think, to work some on the debt and debt management and reduction And also, we're going to have to find a way to lower our schools budget down to a reasonable level, at least. I know we'll probably never get down to a national average. I understand that in Wilson County. But I do think we're going to have to go down. And I believe our new school superintendent is trying very, very hard. I really do, and I support Jeff. And I thank God for what he's doing. He has a board though to operate with, and so he's limited in where he can go. So this election may make some changes in that complexion.
But as we continue to have growth here, it's almost like we can't build schools fast enough. Yeah. We've got to address that.
Yes.
I think you're saying build them, but not as
massive. Not as elaborate. Yeah. It's I know we have to keep up with that, and but I noticed that we have a lot of wasted space in some of our schools I've visited that seems to be totally unnecessary, and sometimes one contractor built all of our schools and developers and everything. No one else could be a part of that process. So I believe we could have done it much cheaper, and I think in the future we can too. I know we built a new one this year, and I don't have the statistics on that, and so we may have made some real progress there. So I hope we have, but we're definitely going to have to. Emergency management services is really one of my real concerns, because those people are underappreciated, underpaid, overworked, and I really would like to see them taken care of better. And our general government gets 6% of our budget, and that's pretty much high-end salaries. And so I think we might need to work a little bit there as well. I want us to have good people, but sometimes you don't need as many people when you've got good people. So I think that salary adjustment can even itself out by making sure we have good people doing good jobs.
Are there any particular needs of District 19 that you're concerned about?
You mean District 20, I assume?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, District 20. Well, yes, it is.
We've reapportioned so many times, I can't keep up.
I know.
So excuse me for that.
Well, there's several things, and I haven't got time to deal with all of those. But one of those is, like I said, it's a district seemingly left behind. All of my district is in the city, or at least in the city limits. And I think most every bit of it. I don't think we've got anything outside of it. So a lot of that is businesses on this side of town, and those businesses cannot vote for their commissioners. So they're underrepresented. They can vote where they live, but they can't vote for their businesses. And so I'm running because I think those businesses and companies and people that's in the area who have shops and buildings, and also think that we've been left behind on development of this side of town. And we need to look at a better, instead of just tobacco shops and truck stops and hot dog stands, we need to be able to develop this side of town in a way that can bring some financial growth to our town, as well as some cosmetic growth to this side of town. So I think we've been left behind there. And so I am concerned about that. I'm also concerned that since mine is in my district especially, and so every district has a little bit in the city, I guess, or most of them. So we don't get represented the city seems to kind of step over county boundaries sometimes. And I particularly live in a place to where they have built 186 units around my property and pretty much ruined my life for a year and a half. And nobody said a thing. Nobody's tried to apologize, and they've changed the rules as they went along. And I believe the county ought to have a say, at least be able to trumpet, or at least have a voice to where people will know what's going on when the cities may be overstepping their bounds sometimes, because the city is in the county and my whole district is in the city. So that puts me in a position. I think that's why we are left out so many times in progress, growth, thought. I know one particular time during the tornado, there was a few businesses on this side of town that couldn't get any help, but the rest of the parts of town did. This side of town got very little help in cleanup and had to hire it done. And other places was getting city, and I don't know about county, but especially city help. So those are areas that does concern me, because I've been here all my life in this 33, and people used to say, why is Hillcrest going to relocate? And I said, no, this is where God put us, and we're going to stay here, and we made a difference there. And that's, so this is home to me.
We got about 2 minutes left here this morning. People got to make a choice, and here again, I believe you're the only name that's going to be on the ballot as the Republican nominee. But you're saying there are two possible write-in candidates.
Yes.
So what should people got to make a decision here?
They do, and I think first of all, my experience speaks for itself. I think, and anyone who knows me knows I'm honest. And I don't mind speaking out for what's right, and sometimes I'm wrong, but I always seek to be right in what I'm doing and represent the people that way. I also see agendas going on that bothers me, some backdoor politics, some agendas. For instance, our last month's commission meeting, we recognized a politician running from Congress in the commission meeting. He came to attend for that purpose, and he was recognized. That's out of order, in my opinion. Those kind of personal or agenda-driven things needs to stop. And then even with the last two meetings, we've had candidates running for office, one my opposition, that was leading prayer and pledging allegiance to the flag to open the meetings, which to me should have been overruled. Not that nobody's more patriotic and believes in prayer more than I do, but I think we have to, those little agendas has got to stop. Our commission meetings needs to be doing commission business. We spend 40 minutes recognizing people and giving awards and things like that, and then 45 doing business. And I think people will be better informed if we stick to our business.
All right, I guess we pretty much have to bring this to a close here. But again, Glenn Denton has been on the program this morning, paying for this time, and it is District 20.
District 20.
The election going on right now, early voting, and August the 4th, we'll find out who's going to be representing this district next. But you're certainly wanting people to go and to vote for you.
I do. I appreciate every vote. And I promise that I will do my best to give them the best that I have for this district and to see that everybody is represented in the best way that I can and with what wisdom I do have. And I will give that to this district and if I'm elected.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today. And that is it for a Friday. Have a nice weekend. Till Monday, I wish you a fantastic